a short video seeking to destroy the myth and the illusion of what the enlightened ones look like and what it looks like to be fully realized or fully enlightened, and how much that's an impediment on the path of the seeker. We build pictures in our minds. That's what we do. Spiritual or not, we build pictures. We use our imagination. It's a fantastic tool. It's creative, gets things done, solves problems, creates dreams, builds things, creates beauty, creates destruction. It's equally as delusional as it is illusional. It's creative and destructive. But there it is, the imagination. We imagine things, read a book, we build a picture of it, we see it in some sort of way, and we measure things against that, because not only are we great imaginers, we're also great comparers. We compare all the time. It's how we navigate the world, right? We compare this with that. We're comparing the size of this with the size of that. A lot of our comparison nature goes under the hood, goes on under the hood. But we're constantly measuring. Look at it now. Look around the room. You've already measured many things before you even realize it. Perspective is measurement. You see this closer than that. You see that over there compared to that. You know where to put your foot. You know where you're stepping off a pavement. You know the distance between cars. You know the distance between things. At least you know enough to keep you safe. We imagine, we measure, we compare. And so then we come onto the spiritual journey. And we read about, largely through secondhand knowledge, about the mystics, about the enlightened ones. And some of it speaks to us and some of it doesn't. Some of it's true, some of it isn't. The biographers, paint it a certain way. History is, in many ways, a series of lies. Distortions, let's say. Bias, let's say. A view. And so we build up a picture of the enlightened ones. And then we build up a picture of course, enlightenment, awakening, healing, self-realization, what it means, what it looks like. And that's all well and good, until you want to go deeper. Until you want to go deeper within yourself, because you can't actually carry those comparisons, those ideas, those imaginations onto the path and go deeper within yourself. Because there's only one thing, and I'll keep saying this until I'm weary. All the knowledge in the world is great, and all the practice in the world is great. But at some point, knowledge and practice have to be let go of and released, because only direct experience, the direct taste, the tasting of the direct experience of life, the intimacy with experience of what's going on within, really makes any difference and transforms a human being and brings harmony where there is division or inner conflict. Only the inner realization on the deepest level, where no book, where no teacher, where no guidance goes. When it's said, the teacher or the teaching or the pointer or the scripture or the poem or the wise words, they can be the boat. They are the boat that gets you to the shore, or they're the the words, the pointings that get you to the edge of the forest. And then you're on your own. All of it is beautiful and all of it is worthwhile, but then it has to be direct, because everything else is secondhand. Secondhand knowledge is useful. We love secondhand knowledge, but it feeds the imagination. And as long as the imagination is being titillated and stirred, then we can stay almost in our academic, theoretical, safe haven. Here, judging, comparing, looking, always looking. The human being is, prefers looking to the journey of going into the forest and the finding, because what we find is nothing like what we imagine. Nothing. And those that say, oh well, it's bliss. It's got to be bliss. The enlightened state is bliss. And you build a picture of bliss, you've probably already built it. Bliss where nothing touches the human experience anymore. I've conquered the human experience, I've transcended it, even while I'm in a body. No longer am I touched by the pain, the hurt, the suffering, the wounding. But until then, until I know that bliss, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. There was one phrase that we hear all the time: I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Where? I'm not in my imagination. I'm not in the image that my imagination is holding out for me. I'm not at that place. But where are you? Well, I'm here. That's it. You're here. If you can be here, there's no need to cling to the imagination about being somewhere else. If you're here, the invitation is, can you be here? Well, no, I'd rather be there. I'd rather be searching, actually, because being here is too difficult. It's too painful. It hurts too much. And I thought the idea of bliss was that there's no more pain. Well, carry on searching until you realize it's here. Pain, sensitivity, feeling, it's all here. It's just no imagination that it's going to be any other way. And in that sense, it's the end of suffering. Because the suffering is really imagining that it should be somehow else other than the way that it is. And the suffering is the resistance to what it is because we think it should be some other way. And yet here it is, in this moment. Come into reality. Come into the reality of this moment. And then you don't need to have an imagination of escape or of betterment. And there are waves to this, and you have to go through a certain defragmentation in order to accept that this is it. Because at first, one says, well, if this is it, I'm depressed. If this is it, it renders it meaningless. But there you are still interpreting. There's no interpretation necessary of direct experience. There's no need to interpret what is instant and direct and here and now. It's just this. And so all the knowledge and all the ideas and all the pointers and all the teachings get you to the edge of the forest. And then at the edge of the forest, you take 1 foot into the forest, boom. It's just this. It's just this. And the teachings will have informed you, and you'll remember just this, and not to give yourself to imagination or fear or these ideas or those ideas of it's too much, or it's too dark, or it's too painful, or it's overwhelming, because you're too busy being the Buddha with the Maras of just this. Just this. It's not bypassing, it's meeting fully. It's the opposite of bypassing. Bypassing is avoiding. In fact, a lot of times using the imagination that keeps you at the edge of the forest of direct experience is the bypassing. We've got it the wrong way around so often. So come out of imagination. Come into the directness. It doesn't matter. Comparing one thing to another, one spiritual teaching to another, comparing one teacher to another, comparing the idea that you have of enlightenment to the reality of what you're experiencing, doesn't matter. What matters is coming into the direct felt sense, the direct experience, and seeing that any escape from the now, from the truth of now, takes you away from reality, takes you away from the direct experience. And I know it's painful, but at some point in the evolution, in the maturation, we have to be prepared to stay here whether pain is arising or not. And that happens as we go deeper. It happens as we go deeper into the experience. It doesn't happen at first. So for new people on the path who are still locked into the psychological, emotional, nervous system wounding, still ramped up in the reactive sense, this might not be possible. But at some point it becomes possible. And that's where the activation is. That's where the real juice starts. Until then, it's a preparation. Come out of imagination. Come into the real moment, this moment, here. Bless you.